imagine that environment is just around us. Actually, we are ourselves nature. We are part of nature. We are part of the earth. That's why we focus on Bhoomi and on earth consciousness, on being conscious that we are members of Bhoomi and not that we are some great superior race which can make use of Bhoomi as we want. So in that sense, there is a lot to learn from nature, and that's one of our driving forces at Bhoomi, that nature is our best teacher. So a lot of the work we do, we have done through understanding the principles of nature and trying to embody those principles in our work.
Here there are two pillars on which all the processes and practices are based on. One is the principle of diversity. That each person, each individual is diverse with his or her own gifts, this is her own strengths. So how do we respect that? How do we value that? And the other is eco-consciousness. So in children, how do we make them aware, sensitize them to some of the larger issues so that they can go beyond the textbook and exam and think at macro level, think at the whole picture and think of their role in it and not just say, okay, somebody else somewhere will do something about it. So I'm also a part of this larger ecosystem, and therefore what is my role? So that is what we focus on in holistic education program.
When you talk about sustainable living and things like that, it comes down to your food. Basic need is our food, and the kind of chemicals that are used in our food, it's very dangerous for all of us. So our idea is to start having a farm and hoping that local farmers from around will come and learn from us, and we also will learn from them.
One of the fundamental things that we are trying to do in Bhoomi is to really look at thinking like an ecosystem and not just in a reductionist linear way. And when one starts thinking and reviewing, like looking at things like how an ecosystem would look at, in terms of patterns, in terms of systems, it really opens up your perception. It really makes you able to see a lot of the interconnections. Change happens on a larger scale when you look at things with its interconnections rather than in a piecemeal way. So my health and Earth's health are all interlinked. So if the planet is diseased, I'll also be impacted. So if I can see those interconnections, I look at things more deeply and not just superficially.
This environment itself, it's quite nourishing, and it encourages you and supports you to be the best you that you can possibly be. It's like giving the power back to the students. This is the kind of college where you can actually think of what do I want to study and how do I want to study about it. And I think this basic freedom is not given in a lot of other colleges.